Last week, the Riverton Wolverines gave their all in a hard-fought loss to the Lander Tigers on homecoming. The Wolverines will look to finish their final home game of the season with a win on senior night, as well as pink night at Wolverine Field. Riverton will have their eyes set on the third-ranked Douglas Bearcats. It's the Wolverines taking on the Bearcats on 105.1 Jack FM and streaming video on the County 10 YouTube channel. Now to Wolverine Field and the voice of the Riverton Wolverines. Here's John Gabrielson.
What was mostly cloudy most of the day has given way to sunshine at Wolverine Field. Everybody except those people in the stands sitting in the shade of the stadium as we get ready for Wolverines and the Bearcats, the 42nd meeting between these two teams in favor of the Wolverines, 21-19. However, Douglas has won the last 9 in a row, and the Wolverines 13-8 at home. But like I said, Douglas has won the last 9 in a row. Last win was in 2012, a Pat Patterson 1-point win at Douglas for the Wolverines. Hey, good evening, John Gabrielson. Atop Wolverine Field, Thomas Dent III, also Raylan Mong, Kyle Nikoloff down on the field, providing our cameras for this game on 105.1 Jack FM. I'll be joined by Tyler Watson here just in a few minutes, as it is senior night, a lot of pomp and circumstance, decorations. It is also Cancer Awareness Night, Pink Night, in the month of October that you see a lot of different places, and so you'll see a lot of the Wolverines wearing pink today, the cheerleaders, and a lot of pink in the stands as well. But once again, this is the 42nd meeting between these two teams. Douglas has won the last 9 in a row. Bearcats ranked number 3 in the latest WyoPreps.com coaches and media poll. And the Wolverines coming off that heartbreaking loss earlier this week, as a matter of fact. Feels like it was yesterday, but that was a Monday loss in overtime to the Lander Tigers, 29-28, a game that was resumed. And when I talk about 3A football coming up here in just a little while, I'm going to be talking about that being the second documented time that the Wolverines and the Tigers have gone into overtime. Patrick Schmidt of Wyoming-football.com does a great job of researching stats, and there's a lot of games that really don't have a clue on whether or not they were overtimes or not, but he has done a great job in trying to get those things figured out for sure. And that's kind of what he's ascertained, is the fact that that was one of the second times that the Tigers and the Wolverines have gone to overtime, the first being in 1997. Also a little bit later in our our Porter's pregame tailgate show, if I get it right, it is the fact that there have only been 2 other games that started on a different day than they ended, and that would be, of course, the Wolverines and the Tigers from Friday to this Monday as well. So a lot of different things to talk about there. Jay Rhodes in his 17th season at Douglas. They won 3 titles in a row, 08, 09, and 10. They've been in the semifinals the last 2 seasons. And he is not the longest tenured coach, though, at Douglas. Pete Petronovich from 1943 to 1968, the longest in Douglas tenure, but his 17 years is up there as well. Douglas is 16-3 on the last 2 seasons. He has 122 wins at Douglas to just 39 losses. He's in the Chadron State Football Hall of Fame. He had 13 touchdown receptions as a senior in 1991, tied the single season mark set by Don Beebe in 1988. And if you know the name Don Beebe, that was a Buffalo Bill that played in 3 or 4 straight Super Bowls there out of Chadron State. So some pretty good lineage there as far as talent there. Jay Rhodes' wife, Angela, also in the Chadron State Hall of Fame. She is the coach of the Douglas volleyball team. Well, she had been the coach of the Douglas volleyball team for a couple of decades, but has resigned that situation now, and Jay Rhodes is the head coach of the football team. He's also in that Chadron State Hall of Fame as his team gets ready to take on the Wolverines here tonight. It is senior night, and we will be I will be heading down to the field here shortly. The pregame is pretty much in the can, as they say in the biz. We'll have that recorded, and we'll play that for you. You'll never know I'm gone, other than maybe you'll see me on the screen if you're watching. This game is also available online on the YouTube page. If you go to YouTube and search County 10, you'll be able to see this, and then you'll be able to differentiate between either the Lander Tigers and the Rawlins Outlaws, or this game right here, the Wolverines and the Douglas Bearcats. Again, it is sophomore night. Wolverines coming off, as I mentioned, that heartbreaking loss to the Lander Tigers. They're 1-4 on the season, and good news, bad news situation. The bad news is you lost your quarterback, and that would be Derek DeVries, and he is on concussion protocol and is definitely out at least this week, and so that is the bad news. The good news is you brought back in number 88, and that is Nathan Hutchison for the Wolverines, who ran for 33 yards, caught 7 passes for 68 yards. He ran for a touchdown. He caught 2 touchdowns. He also threw a couple of passes. He accounted for 129 all-purpose yards. His 3 TDs in one game puts him as the leading scorer on the season with 3 TDs in just one game for the Wolverines. So like I said, good news, bad news. Other bad news is Draven Monroe, who has led the team in defensive points last week and 1 week ago at Rawlins, perhaps not eligible to play tonight. So they'll be looking for Dominic Payne to step in his stead on the defensive side of the equation. I thought Dominic had a pretty good game last Monday, I guess. It feels like 2 weeks ago, and yesterday at the same time on Monday. If nothing else, but that's where we are at as the pregame show continues. It is the Porter's Tailgate Show, and we will take a break. I will head down to the field. When we come back, I've got your Wolverine weekend. We'll also take a look at football across the rest of the state. 2 things I want to throw out on the Wolverine weekend before we get there. I recorded this ahead of time, but Caden Chatfield wins the Powell Invite, and he does so in record-breaking time on that course. So congratulations to the junior Caden Chatfield, setting a new course record in Powell in cross-country this afternoon. And then also Jayla Griffith, who qualified for state swimming yesterday, the first Wolverine qualifier to do so. This first Wolverine swimmer this year to qualify for the Chad Fallon Lady Wolverine swim team. So congratulations to them. Wolverine weekend coming up. Also a look around the state at some other high school football games, and then an interview with head coach Troy Anderson. Those are next. This is Wolverine football. You're watching on County 10 on the YouTube stream, listening on 105.1 Jack FM.
Back when I was riding in rodeos, I always made sure I was locked in, good and tight. Now as a touring musician, crisscrossing the country, I still make sure I'm locked in, good and tight. Of course I do.
Hauling ass, heading south, down the road in a cool Cadillac, coupe to bill.
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
If you're looking to get upgrades on your vehicle done with bumpers, grill guards, and bed liners, shop locally. Instead of traveling the extra mile to an out-of-town shop, take it to the premier local shop here in Fremont County. Wyoming 4x4 has over 25 years of experience under the belt. Dan will take your stock truck and give it the perfect accessory makeover tailored to your vision. Stop at Wyoming 4x4 or give Dan a call at 307-857-3175.
Wyoming Catholic College are proud sponsors of student athletes and sports programs across Fremont County, plus are this season's academic spotlight sponsor. Wyoming Catholic College forms students through a rigorous immersion in the primary sources of the classic liberal arts tradition, the grandeur of the mountain wilderness, and the spiritual heritage of the Catholic Church. Grounded in real experience and thoughtful reflection, our graduates love truth, think clearly, and communicate eloquently, engaging with the world as it is. Submit your application online at wyomingcatholic.edu/admissions/apply.
Xander's One Stop of Lander wishes the best of luck to all student athletes and sports teams throughout Fremont County. Xander's One Stop has it all: clean gas, ethanol-free fuel, diesel, a variety of household and automotive needs. Stop in for the very best in snacks, lunch, dinner, and much more. Plus, the best liquor selection. And now lottery tickets for the Cowboy Draw, Mega Millions, Powerball, and Lucky for Life. It's all here at Xander's One Stop, 730 East Main, Lander.
The run, RHS Cross Country ran their final regular season race today in Powell. Coach Todd Gopp looked at both of his teams at this point in the season, starting with the boys.
We had some kids come into really good shape, and they've kind of held their own and have kind of progressed through the season and have been top scorers for us. But some of ours that didn't come into the season so much, they're just starting to get into shape now and kind of close the gap. It's built us a good base group, run well. We've had a lot of PRs over the last 2 races. Caden came back in strong. He had about a week and a half of rest period, but now he's come back stronger than he's ever been, and so we're excited to get him back racing this weekend. The ladies side, we're just trying to keep them healthy and getting them through the end of the season. We've had 2 of our girls, both Alexis White Plume and then Kai Swan, that have really stepped up. I think Alexis started this season with about a 25-minute 5K, and she's down to a high 22. 2.5 to 3 minute improvement over the season for a kid that's a junior is a pretty big improvement. So both of them, and Kai last year made it through just the beginning of her season, got injured and took almost a year off, and she's healthy and running strong, and again has taken a bunch of time off. So
we'll have results of that meet from Powell later in our football broadcast on 105.1 Jack FM later tonight. The Lady Wolverine volleyball team is on the road for West Conference games. They're at Green River tonight. They'll be at Evanston tomorrow afternoon. Coach Kim Davis talks about progress and the weekend ahead of her girls.
We've had a couple of tough games this past week, and I think we're concentrating on kind of getting back on track. I feel like we kind of took a little bit of a step back, so we're kind of hoping these 2 games we're going to step forward. They're going to be good games for us, and we need to advance forward more so than back. I know last week was homecoming. I try to put that behind us and just move on. But yeah, that's kind of the plan. So hopefully we'll be playing better. Sickness, we don't have as many kids with a cold this week, so I know I don't usually use that as an excuse, but I think we're a little more healthy as well.
This weekend marks the 2nd and 3rd of 4 straight games away from home for RHS volleyball. The Wolverine swim team has 2 weeks left in their regular season. Coach Chad Fellon recognized the seniors in their last home event last night in the RHS pool. They are Marcelina Jimenez, Hannah Grasmick, Olivia Bradley, and Allison Perez. Marcelina's been on the team for the last 4 years as the team captain, demonstrating strong leadership to her teammates. The other senior girls joined the swim team just this year. Up next is the Laramie Invite next weekend, then Conference, Last Chance, and State. This has been your Wolverine weekend. Get out and support Big Red whenever you can. We will be back with more on the Porter's pregame show right after this. This is Wolverine Football, streaming live on County 10 YouTube and on radio at 105.1 Jack FM.
It's more than clocking in or collecting a paycheck. We are a network of caring professionals who want to be here, dedicated to serving our communities. We are Sage West Healthcare, our 2 campus hospitals in Riverton and Lander. We take pride in our region, our people, and our communities. Located in beautiful central Wyoming, filled with natural recreation in our own backyard. We are neighbors caring for neighbors, a community caring for its own. We are Sage West. We are recruiting the best, like you.
I hold up wide left. They don't have any.
Ensuring you never forget your best memories, but also protecting your future adventures. Tyler Watson and State Farm is a proud supporter of the current and future Riverton Wolverine.
Wide right, McGuffey back to pass, shows the ball, throws again, looking in the end zone is DeVries. Touchdown, baby!
Find us on our website at ensuringriverton.com or stop by our office at 618 East Washington Avenue to discuss protecting your future. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's time to welcome Sutherland's Home and Garden Fall Catalog. It's full of hundreds of deals to help you save, including special fall buys, ideas, how-tos, and more. Win big. Sign up in-store for your chance to win a $5,000 Sutherland's shopping spree. See store for details. Get up to 24 months special financing with your Sutherland's credit card. See store for details. Sutherland's Fall Catalog is full of can't-miss deals. Stop by the store and pick one up today or check it out online at Sutherlands.com. Sutherland's, your fall home improvement store.
Wind River Internet is proud to deliver quality, high-speed internet to businesses and residents across Fremont County. Wind River Internet is the sponsor for the County 10 live stream and sports in our community. Enjoy high-definition broadcasts. Brought to you by Wind River Internet. They also provide reliable phone services that can help you stay in touch with the important people in your life. Experience greater connection today. To get a quote and start enjoying fast, reliable services, call 307-857-2004. That's 857-2004. Or windriverinternet.com.
Tonight, the second-ranked Wranglers, the fifth-ranked Punchers played a Thursday afternoon performance at Punchers Stadium. Shoshone had to come from behind after building a 22-6 lead. Peyton Trumpler would get a fourth down run of 24 yards to score with 1 minute left to play in the ballgame. And Shoshone hangs on in Puncher Country to beat Big Piney 28-24 yesterday. Sets up a big one with Wind River coming up next Thursday. Potentially, Wind River is at Grable at 6 o'clock tonight as well. So that'll set up a huge game on the western side of the 9-man football playoffs. One schedule change, the DuBois Rams taking on the Natrona County JV. That'll be tomorrow. They were supposed to play it yesterday, but they're going to play that one tomorrow. As far as 3A football is concerned, of course, you've got the Douglas Bearcats and the Riverton Wolverines getting set to do battle here in just a few, but I don't think it gets any bigger in 3A than number 1 Cody at number 2 Star Valley. They have already kicked off. I'll get you an update on the score of that game. Cody riding a 21-game win streak. Last time they lost was to Star Valley. So we'll see what happens when those two, and a lot of people calling that the potential 3A state football preview. And there's still a lot of football left to be played, but certainly number 1, number 2 in the rankings this week, getting after it. They are already underway. Like I said, I'll get you an update as soon as we can. Other games this week, both teams are 1-1. Fourth-ranked Buffalo at Worland. They'll kick off the same time we do. Number 5 Jackson is at unranked Green River. It's 1-1 Jackson, 0-2 Green River. Jackson survived that double overtime win over Evanston last weekend. They'll boot at 6 o'clock as well. The other 6 o'clock game is 0-2 Rollins at 1-1 Lander. And that'll be an interesting one that kicks off at 6 o'clock. Wyatt Britchka has the call on 1330 AM radio KOVE in Lander. So we'll hear from Jared Anderson in studio updates on that one. 7 o'clock kickoff tonight, 1-1 Powell at 0-2 Evanston. That's a long road haul right there for the Panthers, going all the way from Park County down to Uinta County to take on the Red Devils again. They will kick off at 7 o'clock. I'm going to review a little bit here before we get into the next segment, and that is Riverton versus Lander last week in overtime. In 126 games of playing, the second documented overtime between the two teams. There have been a lot of close games. There have been a lot of great games, but only the second overtime. Back in 1997, the first of the 3 straight football state championships for the Wolverines, they would beat Lander in overtime 24-17. So the overtime win 29-28 on Monday of this week. The second overtime game. Now they're 1-1 in OTs. Also, it is just the third time a game ended days after it was played. I need to thank Patrick Schmidt of Wyoming-football.com for the research he's did on this. The first time that happened came in 1951. Grable and Powell played to a 0-0 tie on October 19th. They had to meet 11 days later to decide a conference champion. Neither team would score. They had criteria of who gained the most yards in the overtime frame, and Grable did over Powell, so they got the win. Goes as a win 2-0. It was 0-0 going into overtime. That was in 1951 when they played 11 days later. The other instance of a Wyoming high school football game lasting more than one day came back in 1967. Basin defeated Byron, and they scored in the final minute. Byron, though, protested the game's final 2.5 minutes, claiming an official made a mistake about a rule applying to fumbles and gave the ball to Basin. The High School Activities Association upheld that protest. The two teams met 3 days later, played the final 2:24 of the game. In the replay, neither team moved the ball much. neither scored. Game officially ended as a 34-34 tie between Basin and Byron, who are no longer individual schools. Basin part of Riverside, Byron part of Rocky Mountain. But those are the two times that games ended days after they were started, much like the Riverton Lander game starting last Friday, ending this Monday. We'll keep you up to date on scores from around the state as we go along. Again, senior night festivities continuing here at Riverton High School. I'll be back with more. This is Wolverine football from the County 10 Sports Network.
We are Maven. We focus on the fundamentals. Clean, simple designs with the very best modern materials and technologies. We refuse to compromise our mountain town roots to follow the well-worn path to $1. We choose instead to make game-changing gear and use it in the places and pursuits that inspire us every day. We are Maven, a company focused on the design and creation of innovative products for and by the modern outdoorsman.
Perfect Power is a proud supporter of athletics and student athletes all across Fremont County. Perfect Power provides services for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. Darren Hubble, owner and master electrician, has over 30 years of electrical experience. Darren's trustworthy team of professionals can get the job done right. Perfect Power, serving Fremont County and surrounding areas. Stop into 1320 West Main Street, Lander, or give them a call at 307-332-7184.
Porter's Supply Company in Riverton is proud to sponsor sports and student athletes here in Fremont County. Start your game day off right with the Porter's Pregame Show and get ready for action. Porter's has everything you need to heat your home this winter with the best selection of wood, gas, or pellet stoves. Good luck to all Fremont County teams from Porter's Supply Company. See Porter's Supply on North Federal in Riverton and online at portersmvs.com.
RE/MAX All-Star Realtors are proud to sponsor sports across Fremont County for the 22-23 season. RE/MAX All-Star Realtors was founded in 1991 with the goal of doing real estate in a way that would make our clients' lives as easy and uninterrupted as possible. They've completed many transactions involving residential, commercial, vacant lots, farm and ranch, and investment properties, and can help you with any goal you might have regarding any of these today. RE/MAX All-Star Realtors, 938 West Main Street, Riverton. See them online at remaxriverton.com.
Flies by really fast. I didn't believe my upperclassmen when they said that.
Catch the video stream of this broadcast and previous games this season on County 10's YouTube channel.
Welcome back to Wolverine Field. John Gabrielson and Tyler Watson sitting next to me tonight. He'll be my color man after Troy Anderson scobbed away my other color man to help him volunteer coach Bo Sheets. But we get ready for the Wolverines and the Bearcats. And at the onset of the broadcast, Tyler, I talked about that Riverton actually has a 21-19 lead in the series, with this being the 42nd game. But Douglas has kind of had the number. They've won the last 9 in a row against this Wolverine football team. So they'll face an uphill battle against the third-ranked Bearcats tonight.
That actually surprises me. When I was a coach for the 7 years, we beat them one time.
Yeah, but that's probably in the recent of that 9, I guess, in the 2012, the year under Pat Patterson. They did get a 1-point win at Douglas. So, but 42, and you got to think Riverton was the bigger of the schools, probably for the majority of those W's back in the day that Riverton maybe was a 4A, quote-unquote 4A school, with Douglas being a 3A school. But, history is history, and everything, kind of goes thrown out, and you see which way that little pointy football bounces when it gets out there, for sure. Getting close to 6 o'clock, and again, I was down on the field and through some technical difficulties, so I'm going to paraphrase what Coach Troy Anderson said in his pregame interview. And it was a double-edged sword on Monday, losing Derek DeVries, but he got Nathan Hutchison back. And, from your experience in playing days, to have playmakers gone, one big thing, but to get another playmaker back, another big thing as well.
Yeah, it's not very often you get to replace a starting quarterback with another caliber athlete like Hutchinson is. So that's exciting.
Yeah, with the quarterback who might have been the starting quarterback this year had he not decided to play fall baseball. But he's back. He's invested. He's played his 10 practices. He played on Friday. He played on Monday. And he'll be out there leading the team. How much of the offense, though, will he have the command of? I mean, it's still Troy Anderson and Brant Nyberg calling. Brant mostly calling the plays. So he should remember, I think, a lot of that from last year, but the nuances that come and missing 4 or 5 weeks, plus the 2-a-days at the beginning of the season as well.
Well, absolutely. And the timing with his receivers is going to be a big thing to watch tonight, because I do know at the end of that Lander game when we kind of had a lean on him for that long third down conversion, I think that was a scheduled run play, and he was an athlete enough to make it work, but that's something to watch tonight for sure.
Kyle Nikoloff shooting us from the field down there, and so pretty lean on his camera work tonight for sure. This game also on county10.com. And Trey Wren, a very agile, accomplished quarterback. He's got good lineage. His dad, Mark Wren, a very talented football and basketball player in Buffalo back in his day. They had a quarterback battle, so to speak, coming into the season. That went away after, I think, the first or second week. Wren has become the quarterback, but outside of that, then it's become the Jackson Hughes show.
Yeah, and his stats look impressive across the board, and he was the starting quarterback last year. Is that what you mentioned? Or did he that Gage?
Right, it was a different QB,
yeah,
but
that's right.
They were having kind of a QB battle, if you will, coming into the season. And I think talking with Dennis Switzer, the voice of the Bearcats on KKTY Radio in Douglas, said that they're both comfortable with where they're at right now. They actually kind of prefer it at this way, with Jackson being a little more reckless and a lot more physical and things like that. And then Trey Wren, a little more calculated and a still very athletic quarterback back there in the backfield for the Douglas Bearcats. But that's where their situation is. They also throw the ball to Brock Pyle. They've got the reigning 3A East Defensive Player of the Year in Carson Ewing that is out there, and they're just a very talented group of football players that come in here. And like I said, they have won 9 straight against the Wolverines. Here's one thing, though, Tyler, that I think that I saw in watching this, and you're an official, you've been a coach, and you were a player, and you played at Shadron State and everything else, is I think the Wolverines learned something about themselves on Monday night, and I think they arrived a little bit.
Absolutely. Everybody I talked to after that game Monday night, unfortunately we lost the way we did, but that is the best team I've seen Riverton put on the field in, I say 2 years, but I know it's probably closer to 5 years. And it's exciting, and it really carried over to the Froshmore game today. There was a lot of excitement on the field, and then the Froshmore came up with a big win. It's exciting to see the tides kind of turning here in Riverton. So.
As an athlete, how much does it help to see the sub-varsity win or lose in front of you? And even though it's an hour and 54 minutes removed, I would think it's still got to be a pretty good omen and hype you up just a little bit.
Well, it's something we always talked about as players. It's, okay, our sub-varsity is beating their sub-varsity. Those are the guys who are getting us prepared for the game. We're getting prepared a little bit better, but nonetheless, it's always good to see your team win, and it definitely does boost your confidence.
Yeah, definitely, and they picked up a big win, 33-14, I think, was the finale of that one. And we saw a little bit of history as Savannah Morton kicked a PAT. I know she missed one. I know she made one. I'm not sure. I didn't get to see the other ones to see, but the 2-time All-State women's soccer player for the Riverton Wolverines out there booting some PATs. Did she get to play in the field, too? Did you notice?
I didn't see in the field, but when she hit the first PAT, Coach Miller said over the loudspeaker, that's Sylvester Morton with this PAT. So when we got to the sideline, I said, what was that about? She's like, well, I didn't want Douglas to know that I was Savannah because I didn't want them to come after me on kickoff. I was like, you got your brother's mentalities. You'd been just fine.
Yeah, exactly. So Savannah Morton. And talked about, I did a game yesterday between Big Piney and Shoshone, and Big Piney has a foreign exchange student that's a female on their football team. Douglas has a female on their football team as well. Got to find her name, Cam Heineman. She has an elbow injury. She's a sophomore and hasn't played a whole lot because of that injury. But Cam Heineman, a female on the Douglas team. So there's more out there than obviously there used to be for sure. So more out there possibly than you'd think. Scoreboard is ready to go. The Wolverines have yet to take the playing field as of right now. The Bearcats still trying to stay warm on the goal line on their side, as the Bearcats are dressed in their road white uniforms, the red and blue accents, the red helmets, and that Bearcat paw on the side of their helmet. The Wolverines are going to be black on black tonight with the cardinal red accents. And we've got a national anthem. So, Thomas, let's take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back after the anthem. We'll give you this football game, the Wolverines and the Bearcats. This is County 10 football from the County 10 Sports Network.
Elevate Rehab in Lander is a proud sponsor of sports in Fremont County. Elevate offers physical and occupational therapy and specializes in hand therapy. Elevate Rehab also offers one-on-one personalized treatment for every patient. Their dedicated team of highly skilled and specialized therapists will help you on your journey back to better health and mobility. Elevate Rehab, 535 East Main, Suite D in Lander.
Fremont Therapy Group has been a proud supporter of Wyoming athletics for more than 25 years. Locally owned by therapists, Fremont values commitment to professionalism and community. With specialized training and one-on-one service, they get you back to doing what you love. Whether you need rehab for an injury from a sports-certified specialist or therapy from the only certified hand therapist in Fremont County. With 6 locations in western Wyoming, they provide aquatic therapy, dry needling, and women's health therapy. To find out more about Fremont Therapy Group or schedule an appointment, go to fremonttherapy.com.
High Country Hearing Center supports patient hearing health care with a superior standard of practice for our Wyoming families, and we are proud to sponsor sports and student athletes all across Fremont County. High Country Hearing Centers has been serving Wyoming's hearing health care needs since 1979. High Country Hearing Centers will always provide superior hearing instrument technology and standard of care practices to help you stay connected with family and help you maintain a more active and healthier Wyoming lifestyle. Make an appointment today in Lander at 1460 West Main or in Rock Springs at 514 Broadway.
Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care support Fremont County athletics. We are a locally owned, multi-specialty healthcare group that is proud to serve the Lander and Riverton communities. Our goal is to provide convenient quality care for all ages. We offer a wide array of services including family and internal medicine, pediatrics, women's care, and urgent care. Additionally, we have on-site labs, echocardiograms, stress tests, x-ray, and ultrasound in both communities. Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care are here for you in Fremont County. Let's stay healthy.
Wolverine football with John Gabrielson.
Captains will be meeting here at midfield in just a couple of moments as they will get the coin toss going, and we'll get some football played here today as the seniors, all honorary captains, going out with Ty Sheets and Braden Vincent. Here come the Wolverines onto the field with a school song playing in the background. Captains on the other side for the Bearcats. Number 12 is Jackson Hughes. His dad is Doug Hughes, so if I call him Doug tonight, you'll know why. His dad is Doug Hughes, used to be the head coach of the Lander Tigers, now the athletic director there in Douglas. Also, Luke Skeen is out there, and also other captains, Christian Johnson, and actually it's Carson Ewing is one of their other captains as well. And I'll get you the last one here in a minute. I think it's going to be Brock Pyle, number 17, the other captain for the Douglas Bearcats out there in the coin toss. It was overcast most of the day, and I think it's warmer now than it was earlier in the day. As looking at the weather forecast, it said humidity today, which I wasn't quite sure what that word was in Wyoming for a while.
Yeah, that Froshmore game was definitely cold. I didn't break a sweat as a referee.
Douglas has won the toss. They have deferred. They will accept the north end zone. The Wolverines are going to receive the football going right to left here at Wolverine Field as we get this one started. Fantastic camera work from downtown there by our own Kyle Nikoloff, Wyoming PBS producer turned County 10 sideline cameraman for us. I appreciate him doing that. Thomas Dent III, our technical director. Andrew Sossaman is up behind us on the game cam up high, and we are getting ready for some football. And also, I want to keep up to date on that Star Valley Cody game that is going on today as well. That kicked off at 5 o'clock this evening, and should get an update on that and get things going here. I will look at that, and in the second quarter, Cody leading Star Valley 7-3.
Wow.
So keep an eye on that one. And I'm really not sure what I think would be a surprise in that, in as far as things are concerned, because Star Valley looked very good through the air here. Cody looked very good in pretty much every facet, but is their secondary up to the task of...
And that's what Coach McFadden asked Jarrett when they were reffing the Green River game last week, and he said the one thing it'll come down to is if our DBs can stop their pass game. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, and certainly I think will come down to that when you've got a very good quarterback at Star Valley and you got a pretty salty defense. And will he have enough to throw? Will he have enough time to throw in the ball game as well?
You got a Wyoming great in Jim Tallis leading that Cody defense.
Yeah.
He knows a thing or two about pressure.
That he does. Jackson Hughes, a very accomplished kicker. We saw that in Matisse Weaver earlier this week on a Monday night. Well, Jackson Hughes, a pretty accomplished kicker himself. Jackson, a 6 foot, 170-pound senior. He will kick it deep. Nathan Hutchison, actually, it's going to be Sheets will go back to the goal line, and he'll take it out. Ball is loose. He gets spun to the ground at the 15-yard line. And Douglas is going to have the football 1st and 10 deep in Wolverine territory to start this ball game. Not the start you want trying to upset the third-ranked team in the state.
No, not at all. And it looks like Christian Johnson came away with that ball. A little tentative breaking into that hole right there on the kickoff return. But good teams find the way to get the ball.
And they are going to start deep in Wolverine territory. And they'll mark it at the 15-yard line. So 1st and 10 Bearcats to start immediately deep in Wolverine territory. Rin behind his center, Logan Ortega out of the shotgun formation. Wolverine start on defense. Play action. Rin's going to step up. He'll throw it to the outside. That ball's loose and picked up by Dominic Payne. Is it a lateral? It is. They'll trade turnovers. And the Wolverines will get it right back. How about that?
That's a break right there. Absolutely. That's exciting stuff. Good to see Riverton not have to pay the ultimate price on that turnover.
I think no one breathing a bigger sigh of relief than the young Ty Sheets out of that one as the Wolverine defense gets it right back, and they will start at their own 15-yard line. Alert play by Dominic Payne getting the start tonight on defense.
And they really had the corner on an island out there, too.
Yeah, he probably could have ran for some pretty good yardage. As it were, Wolverines will go straight up the middle.
Great job giving it back to Sheets, giving some confidence back.
They'll mark him for 6. 2nd down and 6. Should be 2nd down and 4. Yeah, that is a very confident showing effort right there to give that ball right back to the young man who fumbled on the kickoff. Wolverines will send trips to the right. Hutchison out of the shotgun. Vincent standing next to him. Gabrielson by himself on the left side. Hutch going to step up to throw. He'll throw a quick one to the outside. McIntosh will have 1st down yardage out to the 27-yard line. That'll be a 1st down on a 5-yard completion.
Little cover three beater right there. 2 seams and a hitch. Good play.
I've been impressed also with the Wolverine offensive line the last couple of games.
Yeah, they really have stepped up, and it's like they're playing more as a cohesive unit, which is good to see.
Well, and they've been so young, and they've played such hard competition that maybe now it's better as Payne is going to take it to the left side, and he will be hit first by Micah Turk, 5'8" senior.
One thing about Douglas is they kind of blitz from all locations. That there was a blitz that came from the top half of the field right there from the outside backer. So that's something that we got to keep an eye on.
Something that they tip at all, or is that just luck of the draw?
Yeah, it's they do tip, but I've been out of the game long enough where I don't remember the tips. Coach Rhodes has a well-coached team year in and year out, and that's why they're always at the top half of the league.
Jay Rhodes doing the offensive duties along with one of his assistant coaches. Hutch going to step up to throw. That one will be caught by McIntosh. They'll mark him at the 36, and a late flag sails in at the end of this. Is this going to be a face mask of a 5-yard variety against the Bearcats? So add on 5 more is going to be a Wolverine first down.
Good strong hand catch right there by McIntosh.
First penalty of the game for the Bearcats will be the 5-yard variety, and that will give the Wolverines another first down, their second first down of the night. Hutchison and Payne will run into the huddle.
It's exciting to see this momentum we're getting on offense. It's similar to how we approached the game last week, and that really helped us.
I see Gabrielson on the sideline digging through a bag with one of the assistant coaches as he's not out there at receiver right now.
Looks like the officials have told him about his length.
Okay, and Hutchison, there's a flag down as Hutchison's going to lose about 2 or 3 yards. Well, he was just talking about wearing longer pants because he got a pretty good
lost about 2 yards.
Personal foul against, holding against the Wolverines. So 10 from the spot of the foul is going to end up being about a 14-yard loss for RHS.
That pants situation is something we battled back when I was still coaching. They don't make pants long enough for a lot of these kids because that's not the way the NFL guys do it.
Well, and it says something about, about you being an official, but the consistency of officials, because he's worn it that way for about 13 games dating back to last year as well. So,
not something I look at.
Rules are rules, and he's on the sideline. Play action, Hutch throwing up to the far sideline, a catch and a hard tackle by the Bearcats.
That's 3 hitches in a row up top.
Yeah, quick one to Mack. It's only going to be about a 4-yard gain, though.
I think that's something that Sheets and Nyberg are going to watch, though, because that corner's creeping up closer and closer every time, and it's something they're going to keep an eye on to look for that double move.
Second down at about 18. Ball at their own 33-yard line. Two receivers each side. Hutch going to step up, throw. It'll be picked off. Picked off out of the air by Luke Skeen. Skeen will be knocked to the ground at the 12 by Nathan Hutchison. Then he gets a little aggression getting up.
Intercepted.
Yeah, that's one of those where he didn't see the flat defender out there. It's a tough read as a quarterback because you're looking at your receiver and that guy can pop up out of nowhere. Number 20 made a good play on that.
Picked it off. Our second turnover of the night for Riverton. One on the opening possession. Second time in a row, though, that the Bearcats will start deep in Wolverine territory. This one even further than the last one. Start this one at the 12-yard line. Trey Wren. Shotgun formation. Trey throws it to the outside. It will be caught, heading to the end zone, and in is Jackson Hughes, a 12-yard touchdown pass on essentially their second play of the game. And the Bearcats are on the board.
It looked like from the onset of that formation they had the advantage out there. It didn't look like we had somebody adjusted over. I don't know if that's a scheme they've got set up for this week or not.
Watching the replay on that, he just had a lot of confusion, I think, in the Wolverine secondary. And Hughes will kick out of the hold of Brock Pyle. Kick on a good hold on a bad snap is through the uprights. And the PAT is good. Took all of 7 seconds off of the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. We're going to stay here, get some of our live reads done for you here, like this one for State Farm.
Tyler Watson, State Farm agent, a proud supporter of Riverton High School athletics. State Farm doesn't want you to forget the old memories, but they want to make sure your future is protected. Stop in and see Tyler, 618 East Washington, or go online, insuringriverton.com.
Tyler, thank you for your sponsorship of Wolverine football on County 10 all season long.
I'm a Wolverine diehard.
You are a sports supporter diehard as well, and everybody that has been a beneficiary of that is thankful for that, I'm sure. One play, 12 yards, 7 seconds, a 12-yard touchdown pass from Rinn to Hughes, and they take advantage of the second Wolverine turnover in the first 4 minutes of the football game, and it could be worse.
Absolutely. It's something we got to make sure we stay away from the rest of
Hughes
this night.
will boot that one past Gabrielson into the end zone. That'll be a touchback, and the Wolverines with 8:15 will start at their own 20-yard line.
So we ran our first 6 plays. Usually your first 6 to 8 plays are scripted plays based off of what your pregame, reads were on the defense. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here, where they're going to attack.
They did get 2 first downs, one on a pass, the other on a penalty, but the big penalty brought it back, and then they get picked off. Play action fake to Sheets, running it up the middle is Hutchison. He will have about a 10-yard carry. Will be real close to a first down. Going to be 9.
Tough run by Hutchinson there. As you can see, their corners are sitting in a strong cover too. I think they're saying if you're going to beat us, Hutchinson, you're not going to beat us on the outside.
Right, they'll go right up the middle. Tackle by Carter Archuleta, just a sophomore. First starter in 16 years under Jay Rhodes as a freshman last year, and did so at middle linebacker as a freshman. I mean, that's kind of a man's position, and for a freshman to get a first start in a coaching regime's tenure like that, pretty impressive.
It says a lot about the kid.
Hutchison throwing it down the left side. McIntosh makes a play, coming back on it. He'll be tackled by Brock Pyle, but not before he gets to the 46-yard line. 18-yard completion and a Wolverine first down. The 4th catch of the night for McIntosh.
He's had a great night so far, but that's something that Riverton's going to have to continue to do, is push the corners downfield if they're going to want Hutchinson to be able to scramble out.
That ball underthrown, and it might have been better off that way as McIntosh had to come back and get it, as Pyle was out there running stride for stride with him. Going to see Nathan run into the middle. He'll be sacked. He'll be brought down by Carson Ewing, the 3A East Defender of the Year last year. He'll lose 3.
That's never the best sight as a running back when you see 5 defensive linemen running square at you.
Not often you see a quarterback wearing number 88.
We were talking about that on Monday night against Lander. I told my cousin Jared, I said, I think the last time was Remember the Titans, and he was 21.
What was the one from Michigan's name, or was he a running back in the day? Is Hutch going to take off running, and he'll stiff arm one man and run out of bounds right about midfield. It'll be on the other side, 45. It's only going to be a 4-yard gain. It's going to bring up 3rd down now.
He has sneaky speed.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't look like he's running that fast, and all of a sudden you see him turn the corner, and you realize how fast he's running.
Talking with Brant Nyberg, and he said that Nathan and Braden Vincent are neck and neck, the 2 fastest kids on the field.
Wow.
And Nathan may be just a skosh quicker than Braden, and that's saying something because Braden the track runner as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Nathan steps up to throw. Has some time. He's going to take off on the run. He will stiff arm and push Carson Ewing to the ground on the stiff arm. It's going to be another 3-yard gain, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
He had great time there. I would have liked to see him sit in the pocket a little bit longer.
Watch the stiff arm when he comes up. Just kind of carries him a couple yards and puts him on his noggin.
He's a strong kid.
Yes, he is.
When I played in that alumni baseball game with him this summer, I realized how strong he was just getting closer to him.
Well, here's what my kids and his friends do is they were having a bench press competition in our basement on New Year's Eve, and Nathan won the thing. So there was a couple of offensive linemen involved as well. 4th down and about 6.
Oh, no.
And we've got movement.
Looks like an illegal snap there. He started it and stopped it.
5-yard penalty takes them out of maybe going for it range. Second penalty of the night for the Wolverines for 19 yards now. 6:15 left to play. They have run 5 plays in 2 minutes, and it looks like the punt team will come on.
Well, Douglas will hopefully be in unfamiliar territory on their side of the 50.
Hughes and Pyle. One thing that the Wolverines have done very well this year is punt team. Of course, you're missing your punter, Derek DeVries, who has 3 60-plus yard kicks right now.
Yeah, it's never an easy thing when you lose an important part of the team like that.
Ball is kicked. Hughes will field it at the 14. He's going to lose the football. Falling back on it is Pyle at the 5. That is exactly why they have Vincent as the gunner, as he plowed Jackson Hughes right out of his shoes at the 10-yard line. Pyle alertly picks it up at his own 5. And like you said, unfamiliar territory. Their first drive started at the 15 of the Wolverines. Their second one started at the 12 of the Wolverines. Now this one at their own 5-yard line.
Yeah, and it looks like they had a reverse setup there with the pitch back to the other returner. I don't think there was a lot of room to run, but nonetheless, Vincent made a great play.
Wolverines have run 11 plays. The Bearcats have run 2. And they start at their own 5-yard line. Hand it off to the near side, cutting back inside with it. And then finally a host of Wolverines will bring down Carson Ewing, led by Ryan Cox and Braden Vincent. And a nice job also out there by Tyree Harris-Aragon. Gain of 6, though, on first down by Carson Ewing.
Looks like they're going no huddle here. This is something I haven't seen with Douglas. Usually they're pretty professional style.
Ewing next to Rinn. Rinn out of the gun, throws it out to Jackson Hughes. He'll be hit and dropped at the 8-yard line by Braden Vincent. That'll be a loss of about 4 on the play on that.
Great play, great read. He saw the receiver break out, and he followed him right away and made the play.
Read that one like a book. And they'll send trips to the near side for Rinn. Good chance for that Wolverine front line to get in there. Mason and company. They'll run Rinn out to his throwing hand. Doesn't have anybody to throw to. He finally will step up and throw, and it'll be caught by Hughes. Actually, it's not Hughes. It's out of bounds by Brock Pyle right at the 50-yard line. That is a 43-yard completion and a Bearcat first down. And that one is tough because the corner on this near side waited forever and then finally decided to make the break on the quarterback, but he wasn't past the line yet, and he makes him pay for it. That wasn't his man that he left alone. That it was a result, but that's still a tough call to have to make defensively.
That's an extremely tough play as a defensive player. He had to have been really close.
1st and 10 at the 49. Jackson Hughes trying to get around the outside. He will. Jumps past Sheets, Tyree Harris-Aragon, and also Cade Gabrielson bringing him down, but not before he goes for about 8, maybe 9. Lost his shoe again, it looks like. Nope, it's not his shoe, it's his towel.
Tackle by Gabrielson.
Now, I haven't watched any film on Douglas this year, but none of the coaches had mentioned to me on this no-huddle offense. So I wonder if this is something new.
Yeah, bringing it out here against the Wolverines as they go quickly. Rinn at the 42, rolls out once again. Tyree Harris-Aragon makes him go inside. He'll take it back the other way, heading towards him as Payne can't get him. Rinn punched out of bounds by Branson Saltzgaver at the 20, but how about making something out of nothing on a 23-yard reverse scramble by Trey Rinn.
Great play by the quarterback, but that is tough on a defensive backfield. You have great coverage down the field, and the quarterback's able to scramble out the backside and make a play.
Dominic just couldn't get the read on him, and he goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Yeah, they've had great coverage the last 2 plays, minus right at the end of that 2 plays now, and it's 46 yards, and they're knocking in the Wolverine red zone at the 20-yard line. Motion man is Johnson. Rinn's going to launch one to the sideline, in and out of the hands of Jackson Hughes at the 15, incomplete. First miss by Rinn tonight. He's 3 for 4 for 51 yards in the air. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 at the 20-yard line.
They found something in the flats here. I think Riverton's sitting in quarters coverage. They're going to have to make some adjustments because otherwise that flat will be open all night long.
2nd down and 10. Wolverine band cheering on their team. Luke Ortega is 6'4", 250, the center. High snap, bobbled. Rin's going to take it straight up the middle. He will start to the outside. He'll head to the pylon, and he will score. Both Gabrielson and Tyree Harris-Aragon both got chipped out of the play by a couple of blocks downfield, and touchdown run from 20 yards out by Trey Rin, and it's 13-0 Bearcats.
And looking at the blocking scheme on that play, I do think it was meant for the jet handoff. And with the bad snap, he had to make a play. And unfortunately for Riverton, he did.
Tyree got blocked, and as a result, came into Cade. And the PAT is on the way, and it is good. Let's take a 30-second timeout. 2 big plays set it up. 8 plays from their own 5-yard line. And the Bearcats lead it 14-0, 3:55 left in the first quarter on that Fremont Therapy scoreboard. This is Wolverine football from county10.com.
Gales Carpet Floor and Home is happy to support student athletes in sports across Fremont County. Gales Carpet One Floor and Home has been a Fremont County fixture for decades, specializing in flooring, window coverings, and cabinets, as well as the professional certified installation of those products. Stop into Gales Floor and Home today at 220 East Main Street, Riverton, or see them online at galescarpet1riverton.com.
Tired.
7 plays, 95 yards, 2 big plays, 3 big plays, a 43-yard pass to Brock Pyle, a 23-yard run by Rin, caps it off himself with a 20-yard touchdown run for Trey Rin. And Jackson Hughes of the Bearcats will kick it off left to right here as the sun sets in Fremont County at Wolverine Field. The kick to the near side, and that will go into the end zone for a touchback with 3:55 left to play. Drive, by the way, took 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go. 7 plays, 95 yards as well.
And the one thing Riverton's going to have to do is they're going to have to make Douglas earn their drives.
And that one they did.
They did.
The 12-yarder, not so much.
Yep. And then, the scramble out for,
right.
Those are things that you can't let good teams get away with. But that's why they're good, and that's why it's hard to stop those.
So the Wolverines need to get something going. They do have a few first downs strung together, but haven't been able to penetrate very deep. Hand it off to Vincent. Braden will run it up the middle. Brody Wagner, first Bearcat to get him. Vincent will run for 3. 2nd down and 7 for RHS.
Something I would like to see Riverton do with Vincent is run him out of a under center look. He doesn't get that head start usually because it's a shotgun snap and he's taking it from the quarterback 5 yards deep.
Payne now next to Hutchison. Sheets. And it's not Gabrielson. Instead, they'll go out to the right side. Payne, he will have a first down and more. Payne all the way out to the 44-yard line, mowing down Bearcats in a punishing run.
What a great run. Great blocking by the receivers on the outside. And I love his spin move. It's probably one of the most natural spin moves I see.
21-yard punishing run by Dominic Payne out to the 44-yard line from the 23. Clock running at 3 minutes left here in the first quarter on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. It's 14-0. Bearcats leading. Payne gets the handoff, and he'll be hit and dropped to the backfield by Luke Skeen, who pretty much came in unblocked on that right side, and Dom had nowhere to run.
Yeah, and that's tough, and he still only got him by the shoelace. So it says a lot about Dominic's quickness.
McIntosh was number 14 last week, I said last week. It feels like 2 weeks ago, and it feels like yesterday at the same time, the game on Monday.
Yeah, those losses carry on a little longer with Lander.
McIntosh, and the fact that it was played on a Monday doesn't help much either. Skeen coming off of that DN spot. Ball is thrown, caught by Gabrielson. Gabrielson on the run, shoestring tackled by not by Luke Skeen, but by Christian Johnson.
Great route by Gabrielson. Great catch. Good run after catch. Doggone shoelaces.
22-yard completion. Hutch to Gabrielson, his second catch of the, well, I guess his third catch of the year, but nice little slant move, and the Wolverines now moving the football. Vincent and Gabrielson will come to the near side. Taking it himself, good tough stiff arm by Hutchison. He will be tackled right at the sideline marker. Good open field tackle out there by Archuleta.
He didn't look ready for that snap, as well as about 3 of the offensive linemen. I wonder if that was snapped early.
See if we can catch the replay on that. And yeah, the right side of the line got a real slow start out of the gate, as you mentioned. Hutch will go for nothing. Minute 40 as this clock stops as he goes out of bounds. Patterson, the senior, split out wide to the right with Gabrielson. McIntosh and Sheets at the bottom. Vincent on a wing. Shotgun formation for Hutchison. Nathan going to have to step up and throw, and it's dropped by Vincent at the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
I think he was thinking about turning it back inside before he made the catch.
3rd down.
There was something there.
Yeah, 96 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 3rd down and 10 now for the Wolverines.
Dominic Payne reminds me a lot of Tyson Beck. I don't remember if you remember him as a running back.
Yep.
But back in 2004, he was a senior. Same build, same quickness, and same toughness. He's a fun runner to watch.
What do you dial up here on 3rd and 10? You're probably in 4-down territory, so you don't need all of it, but you'd like a pretty good chunk of it here. Nate steps up, pump fake, throws one down the sideline. Gabrielson is there. It's knocked out of his hands right at the last second by Christian Johnson. Great defense by Johnson on Gabrielson in the end zone.
It was going to take a good defensive effort to make that play not happen, and that's exactly what the corner did.
Well, Nathan put that ball pretty much right on the money, where it was either going to be a touchdown or it had, a deflection because it wasn't going to be picked off.
Nope.
At that point. And like I said, it is 4th down for the Wolverines now with $1:30 left to play in the first quarter on that Fremont Therapy scoreboard. Haven't called Tegan Siege yet tonight, number 79. He's the second best defensive performance points-wise in the state for the Bearcats. Hutch going to step up, throws a pump fake, throws a hitch. He's going to launch that one into the end zone, and it's not even close and out of bounds, and that's where the Bearcats will take over.
I think there was some confusion on the routes those receivers were running down there, because they both kind of turned around and looked at each other. Unfortunately, it was 4th down.
1st and 10 at the 34.
Eight plays. They go from the own 20 to the Bearcat 34-yard line. And with 1:23 left to play, Bearcats at their own 34-yard line. Rinn sends Jackson Hughes across the formation. Hewing breaking tackles. Vincent will get him at the 41. 7-yard carry for Carson Ewing, his second carry of the night for 13 yards as we wind down to a minute. And, much like I mentioned about Gabe Harris and Matisse Weaver, both of those kids would run past the play, but then the next thing you know, they're back in the play. They never gave up. Braden Vincent did that same exact thing on that play. Ran past the play to start, then came back to make the tackle.
Yeah, real good hustle play by Vincent there.
2nd and 4. Play action, throwing it out will be a completion and a 1st down. Gabrielson hanging on to Luke Skeen, but not until he gets clear down.
Skeen's a tough runner. When he finishes a run, he really looks to punish the defender.
Well, and that time it happened to be Cade that he punished.
Looks like Cade got the better end of it, though, because he's getting helped off the field. Skeen is.
Cade gets low. Remember, Jeremy Slack was a wizard at that.
Yep.
Goes as a 25-yard. Is that a completion or was that a run? Did he throw it out or did he throw it up ahead to him? Toss to Hewing, and a couple of Wolverines run into each other, but he'll get cleared down to the 31-yard line.
Now, is this Ewing? Is it like the 4th brother in the last 10 years? Or?
Well, his brother Kelton Ewing last year. He has cousins, one on the team Where is his cousin? The other Ewing on the roster is his cousin, and he's got another cousin. The brother of the cousin that's on the list is a 3-time state wrestling champion. So that helps you. They are cousins. And they will just get the play away. Rinn with no time on the clock, throwing to the end zone, in and out of the hands of Brock Pyle, Gabrielson, and Sheets. Actually, it was Sheets in the area.
Real good coverage.
It
Tremendous
was.
pass.
Yeah, that was about as good a coverage as you could play, and Rinn still put that one where it was almost a touchdown catch.
What grade is Rinn?
Trey Rinn is a 5'11 junior quarterback for the Bearcats. We're going to take a break, step aside. This is Wolverine football trailing 14-0 the end of the first quarter on county10.com and 105.1 Jack FM.
Tires, and more tires. Bailey Tire and Auto Service offers a huge selection, great prices, and fantastic service.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, this is Haley. With over 13,000 tires to choose, Bailey has tires for your ATV, farm implement, car, truck, trailer, semi, lawnmower, wheelbarrow, you name it. If it has a tire, Bailey Tire and Auto Service can fix it or replace it. Bailey Tire and Auto Service is your one-stop complete tire and service shop. Just remember, with Bailey's, there's no tricks, just tires.
Keep it local.
The Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care are another proud sponsor of Fremont County Sports. Don't forget to make that appointment for your annual wellness visit at the clinic. Thank you to the Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care for supporting youth athletics. And remember, let's stay healthy together.
Second down and 10 on the incompletion. Cody now leading Star Valley 14-3 in Afton, keeping that high-powered Braves offense to just 3 points in the first half of football. So Rinn back to pass again. Good pressure, throws that one over the middle and incomplete. Jackson Hughes chased by Gabrielson. Rinn now 4 of 7 for 76 yards.
I think Gabrielson noticed there was a break in the coverage on this side, and thankfully he was able to get back. But it still would have been a tough play had that pass been a little shorter.
Third down. Front line got a pretty good push on the line as well.
Douglas has one of the biggest front lines I've seen this year in 3A.
You look at Tegan Seed, 6'2", 270. Their center is a big kid as well. Logan Ortega, 6'4", 250. I think Shoshone might have the biggest line in the state, as a matter of fact. Rinn breaking away from tackles. He will carry that ball like a loaf of bread. And finally, Vincent will bring him down at the 19-yard line. But that is going to be a 13-yard scramble for a first down by Trey Rinn. He is elusive.
He is shifty. He does a great job cutting back against the grain.
A lot of Wolverines with a lot of grabs at him before Vincent finally spins him down. He broke 3 or 4. Rinn again, pressure coming. He's going to keep it again. He breaks out of that. He'll stiff arm a Wolverine that ends up making the play. Ty Sheets at the at the 20. That'll be a loss of 1. Boy, the Wolverine line had him pretty much dead to rights that time, but Rinn, very shifty, got out of it again. They're going to say no gain, no loss.
I have no idea how he got out.
Yeah, Houdini'd. Houdini'd right out of that for sure. So second down after the scramble. Rinn's going to roll out. Wanted Hughes on the wheel route. That ball almost picked off right into the hands of a Wolverine. Looked like Vincent.
Similar to Hutchinson's interception, but Vincent was out there and he was looking at him, but he underestimated his athletic ability, I think.
They call Sheets and McIntosh in coverage, but it bounced right off of one of the Wolverine players, and I'm not sure which one it was.
It looked like Vincent was the one out there.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. We're going to catch a replay here. Yeah, I think it was Braden. 3rd and 10 now. Brock Pyle's top of the screen with two other receivers on his side. Near side is Trenton Pearson. stepping up. They're going to throw a little wide receiver screen, and first down and more. Not quite a touchdown for Luke Skeen. He will take it down to the 1. 18-yard completion and first and goal. Well-designed little wide receiver screen to the outside.
17 might have got away with a little bit of a moving clip screen, I guess you would call it in basketball. He gave his he gave his hands up, but I think he was getting him in the back.
First and goal at the 1, triple I formation, and not going to get in. Nice job defensively.
67.
Is that Tyree Harris-Aragon? 57, is that what you said?
Their numbers are so hard to read. It was 57 or 67.
Rin's going to roll out. He will throw. That one. Is it caught? It is. Diving into the play was Gabrielson. Looked like he might have had a pick, but instead Skeen will get the catch and a 1-yard completion for the touchdown.
Touchdown Bearcats.
Started this drive at their own 34. They go 10 plays, and they cap it off with a 1-yard touchdown pass.
And that was good coverage.
It was. Hughes, powerful leg, knocks it through the uprights. 10:26 left in the first half on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. A 30-second timeout on the way. We'll be back after this. This is Wolverine football from the County 10 Sports Network.
Tires, tires, and more tires. Bailey Tire and Auto Service offers a huge selection, great prices, and fantastic service.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, this is Haley. With over 13,000 tires to choose, Bailey has tires for your ATV, farm implement, car, truck, trailer, semi, lawnmower, wheelbarrow, you name it. If it has a tire, Bailey Tire and Auto Service can fix it or replace it. Bailey Tire and Auto Service is your one-stop complete tire and service shop. Just remember, with Bailey's, there's no tricks, just tires.
Hey, Riverton, thanks for tuning in tonight to support RHS Athletics. Broadcasts are made possible by great sponsors like Gamble's on Main Street in Lander. Shane, the owner of Gamble's, has truckloads of furniture waiting just for you. Delivery is always free within 30 miles of the store, and that includes all of Riverton. A big thanks to Shane at Gamble's on Main Street in Lander.
Riverton needs something out of this drive.
Yeah, they do. They need an answer. And it's not like they've played poorly offensively. It's just that they've not been able to get things accomplished. There's a flag down, and then possibly another one could be tacked onto it against the Wolverines at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like as Mason was getting the guy running through him, he pulled him down on top.
Yeah, they got him for a hold, and then he pushed him in the back after the fact on the top of it. So they're not going to get it at the 21. They're going to get it around the, I guess, the 11, maybe 10 from the spot of the foul.
It's a tough way to start a drive.
So holding penalty backs him up to the 11. First and 10, Riverton. Average starting field position, 15, the 20, the 20, the 11 right now. So their own 16-yard line is the starting field position. They did have 3 drives, scoring drives of 80 yards on Monday against the Tigers. Hutch throws one out. It's incomplete, intended for Sheets. Skeen in coverage at the 12-yard line, incomplete. Nathan, 5 of 9, 56 yards passing. He's been picked off once tonight.
That's good coverage once again by Douglas. The one thing about Douglas, year in and year out, they are very disciplined.
Yes.
You know, on defense.
And physical.
Absolutely. A lot of farm ranch area up there.
Patterson and Vincent will go to the top. Sheets and McIntosh right one behind the other as they'll give the ball up the middle to Dominic Payne. He'll carry the football out across the 20. Spins out to the 30. Should be the 29-yard line.
Good run, good hold by the offensive line. Receivers did their job. We just need to continue with that momentum.
19-yard carry. Good block right up the inside there. And then after that, it was all Dominic spinning that ball to the 29-yard line. Dominic, 4 carries, 42 yards. Might be his best performance of the season so far. And you see a good shot of my kid getting his right leg wrapped by...
Was he bleeding?
He was last week on the other leg, and now he's covered it up as they'll throw that ball out. That'll be caught. About a 5-yard gain out to McIntosh. 5th catch of the night for Nick for 39 yards. Hutch now 61 yards through the air on 6 of 11 passing. I'm going to give him 6 on that. I'm a generous stat keeper anyway, if you ask.
It looks like the referees gave him 6 as well.
If I do it volleyball at the college at other games, I'm pretty generous. Big old harvest moon showing out here tonight at Wolverine Field. Bearcats show blitz. Hutch quick over the middle to Sheets. He's across midfield in a foot race. Sheets down the right side. He's going to be brought down by Jackson Hughes, but not until he got to the 21-yard line.
Great play right there. I thought Sheets was going to run away. I think his dad's going to give him a little grief tonight, say I still might have you in a foot race, but great play.
44-yard completion for Ty Sheets on his first catch of the night. Puts Hutch over 100 yards tonight, 7 of 12 for 106 yards. Jackson Hughes saves the touchdown for the Bearcats. Wolverines now just outside the red zone at the 21-yard line.
The Wolverines have found something right there on those inside slants. Our 2 biggest pass plays, DeGabrielson and Sheets now, both came off that inside slant, so let's see if they keep working it.
Cade will come to the outside. Wolverine's going to call a timeout. They're bringing guys off the field late, and they finally will call the timeout. You can kind of see it coming. 8:29 left to play in the first half. We'll take a break on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. 21-0 our score. Wolverines with a football at the 21 when we come back after this on County 10 Sports Network.
Fit local. Try it on, save time and money on returns, and get advice in person at Bells & Bows. Our business is your best local source for quality clothing like Liverpool and keeping your look fresh every month with our new collections bag. These monthly collections bags feature anything you can imagine yourself in, and the best part is we will ship it everywhere. But if you live locally, we can drop it off right at your doorstep. Bells & Bows, your local solution to keeping you looking stylish for anything that comes your way. Stop in today at 309 East Main Street in Riverton or visit us online at bellsandbows.rocks.
Catch the on County 10's YouTube channel.
Good looking shot of the end zone pylon and the lights of Wolverine Field as the Wolverines sniffing the Bearcat end zone, possibly, hopefully, I guess, if you're a Wolverine fan for the first time tonight. 1st and 10 at the 21. Wildcat formation here. Look for the direct snap. Nope, they're going to go to Hutch. Hutch looking to the outside, going to take off on the run. He's going to step up, pump fakes the throw, and then he goes down before he about got his head taken off by one of the Bearcat defenders, Luke Skeen. Discretion, the better part of valor sometimes right there. Sorry, Tyler, I turned your mic down.
Oh, no worries. It says a lot about their defensive front because Nathan didn't run away from him there. They ran with him good enough to where he couldn't turn it upfield.
And then, like I said, he got down before Skeen took his head off as he was coming in like he'd been shot from a cannon on the other side. Defensively, Cade and Braden to the top of the screen in a double wide set. Handed off to Dominic Payne. Dominic cuts it off to the outside, takes it and cuts it inside, down to the 12-yard line. Brought down by a host of Bearcats. Trey Wren also out there, Archuleta and Ewing.
Great run. Ty Sheets on this play had a great block. Stayed with his guy, pushed him back about 5-10 yards downfield. It's good to see that from the receivers. They're really doing a good job tonight on the block.
Payne with about a 16, 17-yard run. He's been ripping them off in chunks. Three of his last 4 rushes, 21, 17, 19 for Dominic Payne, running hard now at 59 yards on 5 carries. Jackson Hill is going to line up in the Wildcat. They'll give the ball to Braden Vincent. Braden will bust the tackle of Trey Wren. Carries it in from 13 yards out, and the Wolverines are on the scoreboard. Wildcat formation Vincent powers it in behind that block of Jackson Hill up the front, and the Wolverines are on the board.
Huge drive for the Wolverines. They needed that.
Started at their own 11 as they go 89 yards, and they do so on really only 7 plays on some big rushes by Dominic Payne. Hunter Saltzgaver out of the hold of McIntosh. Kick is on the way, and it is good. And the Wolverines have struck back with 6:52 left to play.
You know, I can't say enough about Hunter Saltzgaver. As a freshman, what he did I guess Monday, wanted to say last Friday, to kick that PAT in overtime, the pressure that a freshman would have to feel, and he went through and just knocked it through the uprights. That's exciting stuff to see from a freshman.
Absolutely was. And to see earlier today in the Froshmore game, Savannah Morton boot a few PATs through for the Wolverines as the 2-time All-State girls soccer player knocked a couple of through. Little history for the Wolverine football program today as well.
She might forever be Sylvester in my eyes now. And when she told me that, she just had the biggest smirk in her eyes. And I was like, that's funny. That's good stuff.
Tires. Thanks to Bailey Tire and Auto for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. Bailey Tire and Auto in Riverton and Lander have a huge selection of every kind of tire you can think of. Check them out. Stick around for the Bailey Tire and Auto postgame show at the conclusion of tonight's game. 6:52 remaining in the first half on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. 21-7 Bearcats. Wolverines go 89 yards. Let me go back to that page here real quick. 89 yards in 3 minutes, 34 seconds. Took 7 plays. Ripped off runs by Dominic Payne of 21, 19, 17. A big 44-yard pass completion from Nathan Hutchison to Ty Sheets. Sets him up, and they score on the Wildcat run by Braden Vincent. And the Wolverines are on the board. Saltzgaver, Hunter at the, tees it up at the 40. Jackson Hughes and also Brody Wagner as they'll kick a bullet, and it's picked up by one of the Bearcat upmen. That's going to be picked up by Cash Tillard, a sophomore, and he will pick it up at the 33-yard line. That's where the Bearcats will start this drive. Wolverines could use a good stop here or possibly a turnover defensively.
Yeah, and I like that kick right there. After last week when we gave up that was a 95-yard kickoff return. That was fortunately called back, but I like that play on a kickoff.
You know, 2 of those Wolverines have given up 2. That one, yeah, you're going to make a play on that as Payne and Vincent were in the area for the Wolverines. You got to make a play on that. Star Valley ran one back that had to be called back as well. Play action, throwing to the outside corner. It's going to be caught, and then getting out of the tackle of Sheets, and on the run is Brock Pyle. Pyle down the sideline, punched out of bounds at the 18-yard line by Gabrielson.
That's a tremendous play by both their quarterback and receiver there.
49-yard completion to Pyle. He has 2 catches now for 92 yards on the night.
He's built more like a tight end, but he runs like a receiver. He looks good out there.
I'm going to actually add more yardage onto this because it's the 7-yard line. It's a 60-yard completion. Pyle over 100 yards on 2 catches at 103 yards. And we just talked about a good defensive stand. And Sheets had him all but wrapped up, but he got out of his grasp. And 60 yards later, they'll toss the ball out to Ewing. Ewing will power his way to the goal line, and looks like he's in.
Did the ball come loose? I saw something fly out.
Yeah, referees will say touchdown instead of anything else. A couple of Wolverines slow getting up. Branson Saltzgaver looks like he's got a stinger. Cade gets up a little bit. Ginger as well, but a 7-yard touchdown run by Carson Ewing, and the Bearcats score again quickly. 2 plays, 67 yards.
You know, and that contact on that tackle was initiated about the 3. It really says a lot about the strength that the Douglas running back has.
I think a mouthpiece went flying out of that.
Kind of a late call by the official.
It was. PAT by Jackson Hughes is good.
Hughes, PAT is good.
Boy, they have had some very short scoring drives here. A 7-second scoring drive, a 24-second scoring drive. And this one covers 67 yards and highlighted by a 60-yard pass from Rinn to Brock Pyle, and they score on the very next play.
That's tough. It's tough as a defense.
Definitely so.
Not giving the offense much of a break, and I understand most of these kids play both ways. But you're coming
Porter
off a high.
Supply Company in Riverton is a proud sponsor of Riverton Athletics this season. Wanting to remind you that the beautiful weather we've had isn't going to last forever. Porter's has everything you need to heat your home with wood, gas, or pellet stoves this winter. That's Porter's on North Federal in Riverton and online at portersmvs.com. Proud pregame sponsor here on Jack FM.
Sorry to have stepped all over you on that one, too, by the way.
No, it's probably for the best.
Our first time working together, and I do appreciate you abandoning Sarah and the boys for the night.
It was an easy call once I got the go-ahead.
Yeah, once you got the go-ahead is right. So Jackson Hill is going to have it at the 40. I'm not sure what referee on the near sideline is talking to athletic director Reggie Miller. And let's just hope it's not lightning.
Let's hope.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what.
I don't know if there was a noisemaker in the crowd.
Have Kyle ask him. Yeah, I don't know. The white hat official coming down to say what it was, clear on the other end of the field, and then has now gone back. So the Wolverines now 6:28, just put together a scoring drive, and then 2 plays later give up a 7-pointer back the other way. Midway through the second period on that Fremont Therapy scoreboard. This ball game also brought to you by Wind River Internet, making this game possible. Gabrielson will let that roll out of bounds wisely at the 6. And that'll be a penalty on the Bearcats that will give the Wolverines the ball at the 35-yard line.
It's a great play by Gabrielson. One that goes unnoticed by a lot of football fans, but a huge one when it comes to field position.
Yeah, saved some pretty big yards right there for sure. Riverton has 198 yards of offense and yet trails by 21 on the scoreboard.
That's pretty impressive considering on the season we've averaged 152.
Yeah, and we're at 198 in the first quarter. On the other side, though, conversely, the Bearcats have put up 250 yards of offense. 155 on the ground, 95 through the air. 1st and 10 RHS. Hutchison out of the shotgun, gives the ball to Payne, bobbled the snap. Dominic's going to be brought down by Carson Ewing after about a 2-yard gain. He bobbled the snap at the onset of that. Luckily, he didn't fumble it away.
And that play right there is one of those that you can tell that Hutchinson, this is his second game, first as a quarterback, because he really let that linebacker time up his blitz.
Ewing with the tackle, 2nd down and 8. First down marker is at the 45-yard line, down at the 42 right now. Hutchison back to pass, looking, throws one over to Gabrielson's head out of bounds as he just let it go. Good coverage by the secondary of the Bearcats. 3rd down and 8 now for Riverton with 5:48 left to play in the second quarter on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard.
That was a good job getting rid of the ball. There was pressure coming from the top half. If that's something he would have saw pre-snap, I'm sure he would have worked that side of the field.
Yeah, Cade's defender that was on him did a good job of not biting on that fake and stayed with him. Nick McIntosh has 5 catches for 40 yards already. Hasn't been targeted here in last few snaps. Stepped up, throw. That ball's caught by Gabrielson, and he'll be hit at the 41-yard line.
Hutchison's pass complete to Gabrielson.
Was that a corner out there? Or was a 50 out there on him?
Let's hope it wasn't 50. He'd have brought the wood. 4-yard completion there. Cade's second catch of the night. We got a replay on that one, Thomas. Here it comes. I think it's Johnson, Christian Johnson, right there.
Okay.
Actually, it wasn't even him either. that got him. I think it actually was now 22. 4th down, 4 yards to go. And then the Wolverines will call the timeout as they fake the snap to Sheets. It'll be their 2nd timeout. We'll take it with them. 5:02 left to play first half on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. 28-7 Douglas. This is Wolverine football from County 10.
Brown Sugar Coffee Roastery is proud to be a supporter of athletics and student athletes all across Fremont County. Brown Sugar is a locally owned and operated restaurant located in downtown Riverton. Their passion is coffee and locally sourced foods. Be sure to stop in for dinner service and look for a new menu coming soon. Brown Sugar Coffee Roastery. See them online at brownsugarcoffeeroastery.com or stop in at 203 East Main Street, Riverton.
Porter Supply Company in Riverton is a proud sponsor of Riverton Athletics this season. Wanting to remind you that the beautiful weather we've had isn't going to last forever. Porter's has everything you need to heat your home with wood, gas, or pellet stoves this winter. That's Porter's on North Federal and Riverton and online at portersmvs.com. Proud pregame sponsor here on Jack FM.
Jackson Hughes back deep to receive this punt from Hutchison. He will get it away. It's not a real high punt, but Vincent Gabrielson's going to down it at the 20-yard line. 39-yard punt, no return, and the Bearcats will get it back with 4:54 left to play in the first half.
Good punt, flipped the field. Now we just got to make them work for their touchdown. Or hopefully not.
We'll make them work to get the ball back, maybe, perhaps. 3 and out by the Wolverines, unfortunately. And the Wolverines have run 29 plays, 204 yards. The Bearcats have run 21 plays, 250 yards. Sorry to interrupt your train of thought.
No, I'll get on the next play.
Ball at their own 20-yard line. Handoff straight up the middle. Referee falls down, and a host of Wolverines led by Dominic Payne and Jackson Hill make the stop on Jackson Hughes. 6-yard carry, 2nd and 4.
This Wolverine defense is playing without 2 of their best defense players. Trayvon Monroe's out this week, and then obviously with DeVries out with the concussion protocol.
Right.
It's tough to lose 2 starters in any level, but especially in 3A when most of them are, they're tough to replace.
Right. Draven played very well defensively after missing a lot of the early part of the season. Looked like maybe some jumping on the Bearcat side, but running through it is Carson Ewing. He'll have a first down and more as he'll carry that ball out to the 35-yard line. That'll be 9-yard carry there.
They're doing a good job of getting a push up front on the big boys, and they're getting to our linebackers. So it's something we've got to make some adjustments on up front.
Watching through my new Maven binoculars, that Maven company, that beautiful building going up as you come into Lander on the left-hand side past the state school over by the CWC Lander campus. And it looks like that play not so much, as they'll play action fake. Ball is going to be thrown to the sideline in over the hands of the intended Brody Wagner.
We're going to have a hold back there.
That's a big,
56.
big penalty unless they move that flag up. Well, they do, and they'll move it up about 3 yards. It's going to go as about a 15-yard penalty, all said and done. 3 penalties for 35 yards on the Bearcats now, but they have shown big play possibility with runs of 23 and 20 and catches of 60 and 43.
And the Riverton D lineman that got held, he did a good job of selling it, too. He really got his hands up, showed the white cap. Look, I'm getting held.
Yeah, it was their big center, Luke Ortega, that got his paws on a Wolverine to keep his quarterback safe. And what's the old adage? You can call holding on every play, perhaps, they say, and sometimes you get away with it, and sometimes you don't. That time he didn't. Ewing next to Wren out of the gun. Wren steps up, throws to the sideline. That will be caught, and then not being able to hang on Sheets again as Payne and Tyree Aragon will knock down Pyle, and they'll knock him down. They'll mark it at the 35-36 yard line. 11-yard completion.
Second down.
Pyle, 3 catches, 144 yards. Rin's going to carry it himself again, and Rin could be off to the races. Gabrielson giving chase, not going to get him, and it's actually Jackson Hughes that takes it to the house. 57 yards and a touchdown by the Bearcats.
That was a good play.
Yeah, I'd like to watch the replay on that perhaps just to see kind of how he got sprung. We're going to pick that up in the middle of the play, but Jackson Hughes, 3 carries, 72 yards, now a touchdown. PAT, high but knocked through.
I couldn't imagine kicking a PAT after running.
Yeah, he ran that ball 57 yards for a touchdown and then asked to kick the PAT after. This took 4 plays, and it took 1:38 off the clock. Thomas, let's take a 30, come back for the kickoff. 35-7 Bearcats, 3:16 left to play first half on County 10.
Central Wyoming College has a new Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Early Childhood Education.
Being a teacher has always been a dream of mine.
This degree combines the academic, assessment, and classroom management content that students need to be successful in the classroom. Gain knowledge in how young children grow and develop physically and cognitively, and guide them to social and emotional development.
What I really like about the education program here at CWC is that we get a lot of classroom experience.
Make your way at CWC.
Your scoreboard tonight is brought to you by Fremont Therapy in Riverton and Lander. For more than 25 years, Fremont Therapy has been Fremont County's leader in physical and occupational therapy. They're proud to provide experienced clinicians to support our athletes and their families. They wish all of Fremont County teams the best of luck this season. Fremont Therapy and the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. 35-7 as Jackson Hughes will send that one into the end zone, and a touchback will set up the Wolverines at their own 20-yard line. And again, I look at this, though, the Wolverine offense, 204 yards of offense on 29 plays right now, but it's been what they've given up on the other side, 333 yards of Bearcat offense on only 25 plays. So 129 more yards on 4 less plays. And time of possession is going to be skewed way heavy towards the Wolverine side at the halfway mark, but the scoreboard completely balanced the other direction.
Yeah, the time of possession doesn't always tell the story.
No, sure does not. Sheets in motion to fake it to him. Hutchison carries it. Putting him to the ground is Jackson Highbaugh, but making the initial tackle was Skeen. Gain of about 3 for Nathan. Hutchison, 7 carries, 14 yards. Appreciate you tuning in on a beautiful fall night in Fremont County for the 7th day of October. 54 degrees outside right now. Payne a carry once again. This time he'll run into Archuleta. And also Brody Wagner. Payne will go for 3. 7 carries, 64 yards. Best offensive output for Dominic Payne this far this season.
He's run the ball well tonight. And right now it makes me wonder if the coaches are just trying to get into halftime, burn some clock. Because really our success has been coming on those slants on the inside.
Yeah, 88 yards, 110 yards through the air. Trips to the right side for Nathan. Hutchison's going to just carry it himself. Good block by Gabrielson. No, there's a block in the back as, wow, Patterson just got leveled at the 38-yard line in the back. No call on that one. I saw it, Hunter.
Great block by Gabrielson. Without that block, he's not going anywhere.
There's poor Hunter at the 38, just got leveled.
Those are always fun.
15-yard run by Nate. Actually, yeah, it is. Hutchison steps up to throw. He's got to take off on the run, and he will cover himself as he gets a gain of 1. He knew the boom was coming, and he goes down.
Right.
And he'll get helped up by Archuleta. Yeah, Archuleta's pretty good-looking athlete out there, number 42. You look at him, he's 5'11", 205, and he's only a sophomore. He started, like I said, as a freshman.
He's well put together. And he moves side to side really well, too.
Yeah, you don't start at middle linebacker as a youngster in a Jay Rhodes program if you're not equipped for the job, for sure. Bill's done a good job at center. Hutchison clutches, throws it out there. It's going to be picked off right into the hands of Brock Pyle, and Brock's going to take it all the way back to the 29-yard line. I'm not sure where that pass was going, if there was some miscommunication, but it's another interception by the Wolverines.
Yeah, it looked like he was expecting somebody to be out there. But then again, he's been getting a lot of pressure as of late, so you never know with that internal clock.
Right, we'll check out the replay and we'll just pick it up. Cade was kind of in that area, but more to the middle of the field than that outside. And now the Bearcats can possibly put up one more at the 29-yard line. With 1:02 left. Not sure what we're waiting on here, as this is taking a long time to get going. So first and then Gabe.
We need to get Cade down here to the Riverton Junior Football League and teach our kids how to tackle. Everybody wants to tackle up around the helmets. We tell them all the time, take their legs away, they can't run.
Well, Cade will be the first to tell you. He'll say low man wins.
I like that mentality.
Throw, that ball going to be caught by Pyle. He'll dive to the goal line, and he is in.
Is that a roughing the passer back here?
And adds some insult to injury on top of it. 21-yard touchdown. So Pyle, who just caught the touchdown. Brock, 4 catches, 135 yards. Kick on the way is good, and now Jackson Hughes will get a chance to put this one through the uprights on the penalty coming the other way.
It would have been fun to see him and Lander. That would have been a heck of a kickoff between him and Weaver.
Yeah, they'll play the last game of the year at Douglas, in fact.
Tyler Watson, State Farm agent, a proud supporter of Riverton High School athletics. State Farm doesn't want you to forget the old memories, but they want to make sure your future is protected. Stop in and see Tyler, 618 East Washington, or go online, insuringriverton.com.
.27 seconds remaining.
I would assume it's going to be a touchback and then a kneel it to get to halftime.
2 plays, 35 seconds this drive took. They have a scoring drive of 7, 24, 138, and 35.
We need a new stat in the state where it's shortest drives for touchdowns.
Well, Jay Rhodes has seen enough for the first half as he's heading down the
He might
bleachers.
not come back up into the booth.
Yeah, exactly. And there may not be a reason for him to do so. And you know, if you weren't up 42-7 with 27 seconds left, this might be an opportunity where you called an onside kick. But I think leading by 35, that's probably not the time or place to do that, as Jackson Hughes will not quite get the field goal. I think he was sure trying for that as he hucks the tee off the field. Wolverines will start at their own 20-yard line. .27 seconds left. So coming up at halftime, for those of you watching on YouTube, we're going to have to restart the stream as Dominic Payne almost had it stripped from behind, but not before he goes 15 yards. Dom is running hard like the Banshee. He's got 8 carries for 79 yards tonight, as Dominic Payne.
And that's a play right there where it could have been if it gets stuffed in the backfield going to halftime. But now it's maybe take a shot down the field.
Right. Once again, we are going to be restarting the stream at the half. So if you're watching this on the County 10 YouTube channel, you're going to have to go back out to the YouTube page and click back on it, as we are going to have to restart that stream for you here at the break. But we'll wait until we get there. Nathan's going to run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. That'll be a 4-yard carry. And late flag flies in as tempers flare. Nathan Mills, our center, being backed down by one of our Wolverines, Xavier Garcia. And we'll see if it was the first guy or the second guy that gets caught.
My guess is the second.
Yeah, well, it always is the second guy that gets caught. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
54 degrees outside, and the penalty is against the Wolverines. Did you see the indication?
Unsportsmanlike.
Okay. 15-yard penalty, 3 penalties for 34 yards now on the Wolverines. Backs him up. Take off the 4-yard run by Hutch. Or did he get the 4-yard and then they back it up 15?
It would be after the end of the play, so he'd get the yardage.
Okay, gotcha. So how does that go on the kickoff then? When they kick it out of bounds, is it a 15-yard penalty?
Yes.
I've done 150-some high school football games or more, and that is something I just wondered how I should tally about a week ago. So thanks for clarifying. Hutch hands it forward. This will be a pass, essentially, as Sheets gets knocked down in the background, or the backfield.
Brought down by
Highbaugh with the tackle, and that's how the first half will end. The Douglas Bearcats strike fast. The Douglas Bearcats strike often. They lead 42-7 at the intermission. This is Wolverine football on halftime at senior night. Again, if you're watching on the County 10 YouTube stream, we are going to have to restart the stream. We'll come back for the second half in just a bit here on County 10.